Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS. We're live. Hey you! I see you guys. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. How goes it? Happy New Year, 2020! 2019 is dead to me, bro. It's like it didn't even exist. I'm just going to try to forget about it. I'm here with my bro, Patrick Booth, and we're going to be talking about blockchain engineering. All right, guys? So stay tuned, tweet this out, tag a friend, and yeah, man. I mean, just enjoy 2019 on its way out with us.
Absolute. 2019 has been a pretty ridiculous year, I gotta say. I met so many influential people in the blockchain space, the people that I never even imagined that were a part of this movement. You know what I mean? People that were involved with major acts in Vegas and toured worldwide, and people that, just had a lot of experience with computers, from the early decades
Right.
of, Apple stock and, Microsoft stock, people that were pioneers of modern day personal computing. Dude, this year was freaking huge, dude. Uh, I have to say though, when it comes down to it, we have never seen this much growth in cryptocurrency as we have, within the past 2 years, since 2017. It's just gone parabolic, man.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you looking forward to the most out of
Mimble Wimble, Rootstock, things like that. RSK getting actually up and running. Right now, it's starting to feel like we're at that point of we've been hearing about so much vaporware is what it feels like, but it's it's protocols, implementations, they're coming our way. But I'm excited for that more ease of use for Bitcoin, and I think RSK can do it with things like what Unstoppable Domains is doing for giving, excuse me, Bitcoin addresses, domain names, basically. Because I own kenbozak.crypto, and you can send Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all these different coins to kenbozak.crypto. And that's really making it more convenient and more user-friendly for mass adoption. And yeah, that's outside of Bitcoin, but what RSK can do is put that within Bitcoin. So I would like to see that Litecoin, Mimblewimble, then Bitcoin. Yeah, but yeah, you're right, dude. The tech has just been exponentially growing, and I'm excited to see what happens when we have more developers, because we're just starting to see colleges and actual legacy educational courses supporting blockchain education outside of the the way people were learning before was self-taught, doing their own research and kind of going to communities and forums and Reddit. But that's not legacy education, right? Now they can go to a college classroom, get more formal educations, and we're going to be seeing those developers get pumped out of the educational system and into the ecosystem. And we're right now we're in a drought for developers. That's why everything feels like it's taking forever, but like you've mentioned, it's going pretty quick. Wait until we get more developers to start filling up some of that void.
Oh yeah, totally. Especially compared to the developers that are in the gaming industry, or developers, the amount of developers that are working in the traditional FINRA space. We are literally about to see a mass exodus. You know what I mean? A emergence of these developers literally falling in line and actually stepping in lockstep with blockchain technology. It's going to be super, man. Like, but
I'm waiting to see some of those like college tuition programs for blockchain developers. Like J.P. Morgan, $2 million college sponsorship for blockchain developers because JP Morgan needs blockchain developers so
oh yeah, totally.
bad they're
hmm
going to put a bounty out to pay you to go learn and work for them.
Yep. And it's not just the major corporations that are putting out bounties, such as the traditional finance sector. There are also bounties for people to break encryption right now. I know right now that Care Bars International put out a $1 million bounty on anybody that could break the K1 Impulse smartphone is encryption into encryption with WormGuard. There are
Remember
some
the
people.
FBI put out a bounty for like fucking $1 billion or something crazy like that to crack Apple's encryption and nobody could do it for them?
Yeah, actually, technically, they did crack it. Actually, they
Technically,
did.
yeah, I remember the
Yeah,
technicality, but it wasn't a full brute force. It was more of a code
yeah.
crack than a code hack.
You're right. Yep, absolute. You're right.
That's a
But
lot of money, though.
I'm not really sure if they actually paid out $1 billion for that solution though. That's kind of
Somebody can
ridiculous.
Google that. It was a lot. It wasn't a absorbent amount of money. Like it was
Yeah.
like ridiculous. I think it was more for them to make a last ditch, a public appearance of an effort because I think that was the Boston Marathon Bombers phone or something to
Yeah,
that
it was.
effect.
Yep,
and
exactly.
and they had to make a public appearance of like, hey, we're really trying, so they put up a crazy number for people to help them, and somebody or a group of people did come forward and do something, but it wasn't exactly a hack of the OS.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a full compromise. So I think that those sorts of
Thank you
programs are.
for the super chat. Yo, I just got $5 tip from Anthony. Thank you for the Litecoin, bro. I
You know,
appreciate it. I just got $5 worth of Litecoin, man. I fucking
that's
thank you.
awesome, dude. That's some real love right there. That's what's up.
I see you in the chat, Anthony. Hey, and Paulie P. Much appreciated. Sorry to cut you off there, bro. That was just
No worries.
had to give them the
Yo,
love.
I get it, man. So, yo, let's segue to Ethereum right now,
Mm-hmm.
man. 'Cause, there's a big hard fork coming up literally tomorrow, and
2.0.
2.0 is going to be rolled out on the third. But like, literally, they have to solve a solution with legacy really quick. So they're doing a hard fork, and then they're doing another hard fork, literally 3 days after. And then OMSC Go in their Plasma implementation still underway. So, dude, there's some really big changes happening.
OMG's working with McDonald's still in like some island somewhere doing like tests on like facial recognition payments and stuff, dude. Yeah.
Hmm.
Low key weird shit they're up to over there.
Yeah, but I think that that's on its way in. Like even Apple's doing that.
Oh, for
Apple has
sure.
face pay. You know, uh, WeChat uses face pay as well. The Chinese government, like there's so many different corporations that are going to be harnessing that power of like your face is your wallet. And honestly, I'm pessimistic about that aspect because like people are going to have those plastic surgeries and whatnot. You're going to try to like do some fraudulent shit with
Like
it.
with the bounties that we mentioned earlier, there are bounties for this, and even Hollywood mask makers couldn't fake facial recognition at all. It's not even
Well,
like a close comparison enough to like even be a threat. So, facial recognition software, from what I've seen, from like kind of trying to brute force it and stuff, it's really not feasible unless the actual facial recognition software that's being used is just shitty.
oh, totally. Or, huh? Dang. Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to eat my words then.
Crypto God, yo, why do Ken's views not match his subs at all? I have 11,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I don't get that many viewers because YouTube has basically shadow banned me into non-existence. So fuck YouTube, and
No.
I don't do the very common influencer bullshit. I don't put a billion hashtags in my description. I don't fucking post it in a billion places and spam the internet. But my subscribers don't get notifications when I'm live streaming or when my videos go out because I curse, I smoke, and I've gotten like 2 strikes on YouTube already. So one more strike and I'm gone forever. So yeah, I don't know, man. My viewers and my subscribers don't match because the platforms that I'm on don't really like me. But I
Well, just the
appreciate,
socialized authorities, right?
yeah.
Just
But I appreciate Crypto God mentioning that because it sucks. I see it. I'm like, damn, this doesn't even make sense. I'm looking at 11,000 subscribers and a couple viewers, and I'm just like, come on, YouTube. I see what you're
yeah.
doing.
It's a mess right now. I mean, they're gonna, have their botnet engage with like some garbage content creator that's an industry plant that's backed by major contracts. But the people that are doing it from the grassroots, from the ground up, they've fucking hustled their ass off. They just throw them to the wayside. Like they don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah,
it's
if
a
you go
mess.
back to my videos from last year and the year before, I've
Mhm.
posted this. I have videos that have about 100,000 views, 50,000 views, tens of thousands of views. 10,000 views was like an average, and that was actually doing pretty well for my monetization. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I was making a decent amount of money from YouTube
Nice.
just from my ads because I was getting 10,000 views every day because I made a video every day. And
Well,
now I make probably $1 a day instead of, money that actually helped.
damn. That's kind of shitty when you put it in perspective. But
Yep. Yeah,
that's what
dude,
they
it's
have.
funny. The day I quit my day job was the day YouTube demonetized me. Like that exact day, bro. Like it was so fucking weird. It was like an eerie sign to go back to work. Like it was just like, dude, this ain't gonna work. Don't be stupid. But like I quit my
What?
job. I go to do my YouTube video the same day I was done job, and
Mhm.
YouTube was like, no more ads for you, and if there are ads, you'll get like a tenth of a penny of what you used to get. I was like, thanks,
And
YouTube.
that's kind of fucked up. They just threw away your supplemental income as soon as you fucking quit your job.
I
Hey,
know.
what also kind of blows, dude, is that YouTube is going to start banning crypto YouTube channels. Well, at least some people have been discussing this amongst
Well,
the
they said it
community.
was an accident and stuff, but I mean, I've looked into what's happening outside of the crypto, and it started with like cannabis communities, and I've even seen it happen to a lot of gamers. If you go and look up FIFA on YouTube, a lot of FIFA YouTubers are losing their YouTube channels, and they're not like getting strikes or just like their accounts frozen like the crypto YouTubers were like last week. FIFA YouTubers, for some reason, are just getting their YouTube channels completely deleted, gone. And there is absolutely no way to get it back. Even if YouTube said it was an accident, there is nothing YouTube can do to get it back once it's deleted because the servers erase the files and they're not backed up. So all these
Wow.
gamers lost all their content and all their subscribers, and like there's no reason for it. And and I think it's going to keep happening and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely have been saying that YouTube will be censoring and deplatforming content creators of all different kinds on their networks real soon. And we've seen it happen with sort of like it was almost like what do they call that? Come on, come to me. Martial law. It was almost like a test of
Oh,
martial law within YouTube's ecosystem. You know what I
that's
mean? They kind of were just
ridiculous.
like, they say, hey, I wonder if we can just do this and what the blowback would look like. They did it. Blowback was like, not that bad. We can live with this. Okay, let's put a band-aid on it. Now we know what we're looking at, in damage control when we do implement our little martial law. So,
Dude, that is kind of fucking insane. That is actually kind of stupid if you think about it.
well, yeah, I think of,
I mean, they're
YouTube
gonna
is their
destroy
own
their own
government, their
platform.
own world.
Yeah, they are. If you think about it, they're stronger than some governments internationally speaking.
Well, they
Like,
wanted to go more corporate and mainstream with YouTube Plus. They used to call it YouTube Red, and everyone was like, "That's a porn site."
yeah,
But you know, they wanted to
YouTube
be more
Red,
like
not.
cable. They want you to subscribe to a monthly subscription to YouTube, and they want you to watch
Mhm.
these content creators who go to these YouTube studios to make content in these Hollywood like green screen rooms, and you know what I mean. Like they want it to be this thing, and that's what it will be. Same thing with what happened to MySpace. It killed itself because it wanted to be what it wanted to be. It did not
Yeah.
want to be Facebook. It wanted to be a music community, and that's it. It didn't want to be this social network. It wanted to be a music social network, and that's it. Like that's where musicians went to be found and to share their music and blah blah blah. And it,
Hmm.
you know, it hurt them and you know financially, but I think MySpace is still up and running. So
Yep, it is. But dude, they don't have nearly as much traffic as they had once before. And
right, but
I
there's a difference, right? Like you know, the traffic you want as opposed to the traffic you don't, and that's your choice. YouTube can choose that. You know, hey, we don't want independent content creators on here anymore. Really, sorry. We want verified, more professional content. You know, where you have a production crew and this and that. And sorry, that's just where we're headed. If you wanted to do your own thing, then go to Twitch or somewhere else, and you know.
yeah, I get it. Dude, this is kind of trash because even Twitch is censoring people and deplatforming people. It's owned by Amazon, and Amazon, as much as they are willing to adopt this new blockchain based finance system, they still have these terms of services that are limiting their content creators,
Oh,
and
they're
sometimes you
basically
don't even.
slaves, bro. It's weird. I've heard some horror stories from content creators from Twitch.
Yeah, likewise. But I've also heard some stories about how women get special treatment there, and they'll do like, ridiculous things like have ass cams and stuff. You know what I mean? And like the staff at Twitch don't care, dude. They're over there soaking it up, enjoying the vibes. Like, bro.
Twitch could become a cam site real soon. That's all they have to do is get approved for it, and next thing you know, they have adult content creators playing video games naked. And that if they choose to do that, cool. If not, fine. It's their platform, and that's. I don't like that people were arguing that YouTube was censoring them. YouTube ain't censoring me or them or anybody really, bro. It's their platform. They're not
Yeah,
censoring you. It's not a public fucking park. You know what I mean? This is a private business. You
yeah, it
can't
is.
walk into my house and spark a cigarette when I have a no smoking sign up and expect me not to kick you out, and you get mad at me for telling you to leave my house for smoking when I told you that's not welcome here. I'm not censoring you, you know, and you telling me that me censoring you is censorship, you're censoring me. So it's hypocritical.
It is. I agree. For the most part, you're right. We gotta abide by these terms and services,
Yep.
but still, like, I'm all for the idea of decentralization to a certain extent
Well, a
when it
lot of
comes
the
to.
content creators could just use it as a Trojan horse. Put up a 1 minute commercial on YouTube and say, hey, in the link below, there's a video on D Live with the rest of the information. Or I did an interview with Patrick Booth today on YouTube, 1 minute little tidbit interview. Click the link in the below to go to float.app to watch the rest.
Exactly. Or, there's Bitshot as well that you could just
Yeah.
like upload all your videos to and then backlink all those videos that you already have on your channel directly to Bitshot,
I've
you
been
know?
using Library, and it's like an automatic syncing process, but somebody pointed out that they're using Amazon servers or something. I'm not quite sure exactly how that's helping, so I'm going to have to interview one of the guys from their team. But
Hmm.
I was interested in Library and all that, and I started backing up my videos because I'm one strike away from losing all my YouTube videos.
Yep. I feel it. When it comes down to it though, like about 70% of web traffic runs through AWS. So it's kind of hard not to find a website that's not using Amazon Web Servers, you know what I'm saying? Or a
Isn't
service
that
it's not
scary?
using.
Centralization though, like super
Yeah, it is.
sketchy.
Exactly one of the reasons why I'm an advocate for IPFS integration.
So how will Ethereum 2.0 at final form, like how could
Not
how,
even Final
not
Form. What?
even right like 2.0 I'm saying like, you know what I mean. It's just
I
like
couldn't
next
say it again.
level.
Yeah, it is.
But
Yeah.
like how what protocol layers are going to be solutions to what legacy woes, and how will they be implemented and utilized to kind of obfuscate the systems that are screwing us to begin with? Or are we just going to see another the same problems just with better tech?
Ah, man, that's a really good question. But I believe that those that were prepared from the very beginning, that were probably buying Ether at, $1 or $5, maybe like a couple cents, they are aware that this proof of stake model that's coming is definitely going to be an ailment to, the problems that come with, you know, Ice Age and proof of work. So it's just a matter of this actually taking place and this really happening. And also plasma enabling people to have transactions per second upwards of 100,000. You know what I mean? And then it's literally going to rival the likings of Visa's transactions per second on their network, literally circumventing the idea of a centralized middleman to clear your payments. It'll all just be done via nodes, full node systems at
Right.
that point. And I think that's the main solution that needs to be implemented in order for us to avoid this idea of centralized power, seeing exactly what you're buying, exactly when, and what exactly you're buying at what exact time, which is what's going on with most people. Also, who you're talking to and what you're talking about as well. Because, of course, this encryption on Ethereum isn't just for payments, it's also for communications and contracts, agreements, terms and conditions as well underneath this protocol. So, yeah, I think it's a great solution to eliminate some centralized authorities, but there are a lot of corporations that have merged with the technology that are still going to, have the power to see exactly what you're doing and then relay that to a centralized authority. So it depends on who you are doing business with and how you're doing business. If it's peer to peer, great. If it's B2C, like it is right now with major corporations such as, let's say, Louis Vuitton or JP Morgan, because they're on Ethereum as well, then yeah, I mean you're practically just going back to the same old slave master. So, but that's
Well,
my opinion.
what are some of the like worst case scenarios, for this? Because if we're talking about competing with Visa, Visa isn't perfect. They have issues all the time,
Yep.
network downs. We've seen the joke. I think it was like last year, Visa was down for like a whole day, and people were like, "Bitcoin's never down" and all that. I was like, that's pretty ironic that Visa
Yep.
went down. Um, so there are bugs that the financial system's already used to with like the legacy, financial
Oh,
industries.
dude.
But what about new error fucking problems?
Hmm.
Where there's gas congestion, network attacks, spam.
Hmm.
Where a lot of this stuff that doesn't really exist in the financial world of the legacy industry, but could exist in the new one, where Visa and Mastercard could actually attack each other's fucking networks if they wanted to. It'd be a complete dick move to each other, but that wasn't possible before. So I'm just curious, like, where do you see like worst case scenarios with this? Like, if things, where could they go wrong first?
Yeah. Well, the Fed ACH system actually went down as well. They had some severe glitches recently, and the financial legacy markets are experiencing the same problems that could possibly occur with the decentralized space, and that is, just flaws within the system code that has bugs that wasn't actually like solved. There could be solutions that are rolled out in later forks. But you're right. Definitely, when it comes down to contract interactions, smart contracts that are probably obsolete, that won't really have valid code for the latest pragma, that could be an issue. We could see some obsolete tokens be completely phased out and not even forked over. Some
Right.
people, yeah, some people literally losing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of project based, SHA certificates, gone overnight. Anything could possibly happen. We just have to, be vigilant and watch. uh, as to what's going to happen with the Explorer after the fork takes place. You know.
Right, that's an interesting thing you bring up with the fork exploits because I always worried about when people start saying they want to put like things on the blockchain, like their title to their house or their healthcare information, and I'm just like, well, if there's a vulnerability to that encryption and that blockchain that you're putting that information on, yeah, they could update that and fork it, but the legacy chain's still susceptible to the exploit. That information that you put on there is vulnerable. So I don't know how I feel, and I think that might be what's holding back is a lot of that the development for that isn't quite there for peace of and ease of mind of the legacy industry when you're looking at forking the blockchain to encrypt it secure or increase its encryption and security and leaving the legacy blockchain kind of at the whim of the nature of the beast of bad actors and black hat hackers.
Yeah, I know, right? And then they could easily just take the information, quite possibly update it, and then move it back over to the latest mainnet. Who knows what these actors would try to do fraudulently with old legacy data. And personally, that's one of the issues with blockchains is, well, from my opinion, personally, what I see in the market is that there's a lot of forking going on and tons of airdrops going on, and a lot of these people just literally created out of a whim. But when it comes down to it, it wasn't actually solving an issue. It was just because what, I wanted to make this fork, and this fork has value because of the fact that I say it has value, and everybody that holds Bitcoin gets this fork too. So they also have my value as well. It. But when it comes down to tokenization on a blockchain, which is one of the reasons why Ethereum is so great, so popular, uh, it comes down to that aspect of, hey, I'm going to put my craft on somebody else's blockchain. And then this blockchain, I have faith in their development that it's going to keep my token relevant and keep it actionable and working. But who says that the code isn't going to break somewhere along the line and your token isn't going to become obsolete and that you're going to have a robust code? And some people literally just pay coders to make a token for them,
Right.
and then yeah, they don't actually have the necessary support staff to keep that token up to date with the latest pragma, the latest Solidity or Viper infrastructure. So that's honestly what it comes down to, is actually keeping robust code in your project regardless of which, and not just hiring a freelancer and saying, oh hey, I'm on blockchain, you should invest in me. You know what I mean?
That was Money 2020. I went to Money 2020 and every project there, every booth had a blockchain fucking banner somewhere or a little sticker that said blockchain. We have blockchain in our pro. You should invest in us. And I'm like, well, how are you utilizing it? We're like, all they
Mhm.
kept saying was, we're on the blockchain. We have a blockchain. I'm like, what? I don't. More info, please.
Outrageous, absolutely ridiculous. Like, are you using it for fungibility, or are you accepting payments?
Right.
Is
Well,
it
that's the problem.
logistics,
Is a lot of
supply
the
chain?
people that are marketing don't understand the tech enough to explain how they're utilizing it. All they know is they're told to say this word and make it sound fancy. And
Yeah, it's a buzzword for the most part to some people, but
uh,
the people that actually understand the mathematics, the hard math behind, and also the hard computer science behind these protocols and behind the solutions,
well, where do
honestly
you
get it.
see these solutions first being implemented in the legacy industry? Like, where would you like to see the problems being solved? With Ethereum's blockchain and smart contracts and things like DAOs. With like looking at legacy system, what's the first place that could implement this and really get the best use case out of it as like one of those proof of concept snowball effects?
Logistics and electricity, or not even just electricity, just energy altogether. Logistics and energy. So that's where I'd like to see it. And of course, government to reduce waste, wasteful spending, and of course, increase their uh, overall dependency, I'd say. Not only that, to reduce the ideas of uh, neglect as
Mm.
well. So, yeah.
I always looked at time stamping would be like probably first use case, and that could be
Mhm.
for everything and anything. gaming, betting, gambling, stuff like that. Even game shows could use the blockchain for timestamping, like Jeopardy and shit. People would be
Yeah,
cheating.
totally. But still,
Or
when it comes
domain
down,
names. What do you think about like
yeah,
domain names, man? Because there's
mhm.
such a fucking issue with domain names like right now that it's weird. Like I didn't even realize how weird domain names is, but you could actually end up buying a domain name and not actually getting it. Like,
Damn. Yeah, that's kind of shady. I actually realized that a lot of these projects are validating their worth through domain names. Like, I'm not for sure if you're aware of this one project called Pi, which is based out of a think tank from Stanford University PhDs. They literally traded 10,000 Pi for the domain pi.app. And yeah, now they own the domain, and they're evaluating their project at about $100 per Pi.
hmm.
I know, right? Via forms of speculation through how expensive that one domain costs in the form of fiat currency. I mean, you know, yeah, I personally think that it's a great way to, validate your system. So yeah, definitely domain names are a great way to implement blockchain. A lot of people do buy domains with cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
I bought a lot of domains with
I have
cryptocurrency.
some Ethereum
Yeah.
name service domains too, even because I thought that they would be pretty popular. If and when Ethereum does get mainstream adoption, those Ethereum name service domains are going to be pretty valuable, especially considering the ease of smart contract recognition.
Mhm.
Like having a smart contract look at a public address as opposed to an Ethereum name service domain, it's going to be sketch. So like, it's going to be so much easier for these smart contracts to have uh, domain name, when you're looking at the contract and making sure that it's not going to a wrong address or coming from the right one.
Oh yeah,
I think
totally.
that's where it's going to be really important. We have a comment I wanted to touch on since it's something that you mentioned. Big Crypto Dave says, I work in logistics and I'm not seeing the added value to the industry.
Hmm. So, what form of logistics is he in? Is he like
Well, I guess
doing
could you elaborate
deliveries
on
or
exactly how logistics and blockchain would coincide and be able
well,
to?
supply chain management? I think that, for instance, I brought up energy, the idea of tokenizing energy that's generated from renewable sources, such as, let's say, um, your house generated, say, a lot of kilowatts per hour, let's say 1,000 kilowatts per hour, and it's encapsulated inside of your system. And then you and your neighbor are connected to each other through some sort of digital system, that has a transformer in between the house. You could quite possibly lend out your energy to your neighbor, let's say 3 blocks over, and the transaction can take place over blockchain. These systems are already in place. It's actually currently under trial. So, yeah, that's one way, for instance, that the logistics of energy can be transferred via the blockchain, and the value is established. And this is already working under Ethereum. It's already tokenized.
I mean, I've
So,
talked to a couple projects at different conferences that are doing things like this. Not so much like have big fancy booths and start getting on stage to talk about it. It's quite boring, but they are doing things in the background, with stuff like that. And he wanted, oh, Big Crypto Dave said, interstate courier. So,
okay. Well, there's actually, okay, interstate carrier, meaning that he drives a vehicle and he does deliveries. So for the most part, there are drones that are being worked on right now, like major logistical drones. They're, on autopilot,
yep.
practically flying massive couriers, literally above cities, across massive farmland, and making deliveries, currently trialing them in Europe, and this is all being powered by blockchain.
Yeah,
And
well, that's because you can't power this with Java and HTML5 because that shit is
yeah,
vulnerable enough for a 5-year-old to hack it with their freaking smartphone. you know. And we
Exactly.
see this happen with the early Teslas. You know, people were
Hmm.
hacking them for fun, and then early billboards. You know, kids that were stuck in traffic would just put porn on the billboard smart screens because they could. It was so easy to hack the software that it was running on. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? So like if you're running these on Windows and using Java, it's going to be too risky to have these, you know, couriers flying overhead. But now you have these operating systems where language is actual currency and it costs to attack, and networks are
Hmm.
secured by this incentive, you know, of monetary security. You know, it's why they can even test these things. Like, if it wasn't for blockchain technology, you wouldn't even be able to safely, securely test these delivery systems because the operating systems they were on would be too risky. Not saying the hardware can't do it. Not saying that, you know, it's not secure enough not to fly into a window or land on your cat and cut its tail off. Like, it can do these things. The problem is without the blockchain network, it wouldn't be secure from a secure a network hack that could, you know, go bad real fast.
Oh, absolutely. Or let's say some sort of major pirates decide, hey, we're gonna go ahead and take over this drone and intercept this carrier package, and take somebody's goods for ransom. So
That's gonna happen. I mean, they're already calling people like, you know, package pirates or whatever on like the news because the
yeah,
holiday
Porch
season.
Pirates.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a weird term, porch pirates, because not everybody has a porch. So I feel like they're
Hmm.
trying to say something now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
Porch
I don't
Monkey.
got a yeah, I don't got a porch. I don't got a porch. I got a stoop. I got some steps, but I don't got a porch. So why is everybody a porch pirate all of a sudden? I see what you're doing, mainstream media. I see what you're doing.
It's institutional racism
It
towards
is
pirates.
though. It is though. They're trying to make you correlate something subconsciously to something else, derogatorily perpetuate your mind to, you know. Uh, I see what they're doing.
Yeah, likewise, totally.
So when you see those headlines and stuff, I'm like, yeah, but it is a thing. And then when you mention the drones, bro, like that is not far fetched. I saw
Not at all.
drones that people have made with flamethrowers and guns. Like you can
Hmm.
shoot a gun with your drone.
Yes. Oh, dude, totally. Defense drones are going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry soon. People are going to have fuck carrying a sidearm. They're going to have a little drone flying above them, literally
Yep.
watching, scoping the entire
My
area. They're
heart
going to
rate
have
starts to go up,
UAVs.
bro. It starts doing fucking warning shots at your feet.
Huh? Yeah, dude, insane, man. But it's a matter of like security, dude. And like you're not even liable if somebody gets shot. It's the robot, dude. Just about if you think about
Yeah,
it.
it's a software, man. I don't know.
Yo, I was thinking about like actually taking this to like esports, the idea of like doing flow art and having all these drones literally flying around people with leaving trails of LED, as they're like doing a performance and stuff like that, and tokenizing the business and whatnot.
I've seen drone
So,
art or drone dancing at a
mhm,
dispensary in Vegas. I was buying weed, and I swear
uh-huh.
to God, they had these drones dancing to music, and it was like almost like synchronized swimming in the sky.
Hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. And then you could have that actually like interconnecting with some other performer, with another human up
Oh,
there
that would be
spinning poi or
sick.
something. Yeah, exactly, dude. And dude, it's esports. It's literally like the next step. You can have like a massive like competition to see who does the best performance to like a headlining DJ, and then tokenize it with the audience, and the audience can vote to see who was the best performer at the end of the show.
See,
And
I
some of
like
these,
that stuff, man, but that's like Black Mirror as fuck.
it's a little, but dude, I love it. Honestly,
Isn't that
like,
where we're headed though? Like we're headed
yeah,
to a point in time where machine contribution will outweigh human contribution, where we won't need to do as much to sustain you know, life, and
yep.
we'll have this, you know, entertain or be entertained economy, sort of like that Black Mirror episode where you either watch entertainment or you create entertainment, but that's really all there is left for humans to do. They
Yep.
consume content or create content, and which side do you want to be on?
Totally. I completely agree with that statement because a lot of machines are just going to be automating everything else from construction to, fabricating food to literally taking care of automotive industries and creating, transportation services, like all that's going to be automated. There aren't going to be taxi drivers. The school isn't going to be paying teachers. You're going to be learning from AI. You fucking kidding me? Dude,
Right.
I graduated with a program called Wolfram Alpha, which is artificial intelligence in the internet. You ask that machine anything and it'll fucking spit up like whatever you want. Like in always perfect format. And it'll even show you how to get to the solution. It will show you the entire workflow and the entire workload. That way you're learning with machine learning.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah,
So it's not just doing the work for you, it's showing
yeah,
you how it got the answer.
exactly. That's the premise. Like, dude, people are actually going to be out of the job quicker than they realize. And it's going to happen in the span of like
I
20
think we're
years.
gonna see that. So you mentioned like esports and stuff, and
Hmm.
we're on the topic of like Ethereum and Ethereum and blockchain engineering, and I think we're gonna see a gamification of blockchain engineering through bounty systems and the way code will be game will be code.
Yep.
People will be you know. Much like the movie Hacker, back in the day, like the ones in like Matrix, that'll be a video game. It'll be problem solving, like almost like human miners of data, right? Trying to solve these equations, these problems, creating things in a digital universe, and I think that's the participation almost in that level.
Huh? Yeah, just about. I'd agree with that. But still, when it comes down to it, it's not going to be as rewarded as somebody that's creating the content itself. So you're going to have people like LeBron James, the people are actually up there on stage doing whatever it is that they're doing. And you're going to have the people that are going to either be attacking the systems or participating with the systems willfully,
Right.
such as you're saying.
Well, sort of like I was going along the lines of more so like AI teaching people how to code through
Oh,
a game-based learning
oh,
system, right?
huh? Yeah, that's a cool idea.
I learned basic math from this game called Math Blaster. I feel like all the nerds know Math Blaster, but it
Hmm.
was basically like Mario plus math. And it was just like that kind of a game. It was a space Mario type, platform game where you could play as a character and shoot things, and then you come across math problems every once in a while,
Hmm.
and you had to solve them. And I feel like with machine, not just machine learning, but machine education through AI, we could also have the gamification of development in blockchain engineering. So even if the AI can't come up with a solution for a blockchain engineering issue,
Uh-huh.
the AI could actually crowdsource the solution through gamification and solve the problem that way instead of trying to solve it itself.
I think that that's what GetCoin is doing right now, which I touched on last time I
Yeah,
was on
yeah,
the
I was
show.
gonna say,
Yeah,
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 GetCoin.
yeah. Getcoin is definitely leaning in that direction of the. If you read their white paper, that's what they're aiming to do. So also, there's Glitch. Glitch is another place where people are going to like crowdsource and work together. It's like a kind of like GitHub a little bit, but everything's all open source. And if an AI can't do it, we'll probably just put it up there on Glitch and then let other people have at it. Just like I think that's cool.
That's
But
how it probably
math
should go,
also, yeah.
right? Because I mean, AI, I feel like would just I think I forget who I had this conversation with, but I was talking to somebody about like AI creating AI so it
Hmm.
could like not have to work anymore. Like at some point, wouldn't AI get to the level that it was just like, I'm God, I'm just gonna create another AI like me, and then I can fuck off and do whatever I want,
Yeah.
and then now I don't have to do this thing anymore.
You're right, and that's what AI is currently doing. I mean, like, there's so many AI systems on the internet right now that exist. Like, my favorite one is this person doesn't exist. You can literally look that up on DuckDuckGo or Google, whatever you choose to use. This person does not exist, and it's AI generating a random face, right? But really, it was an AI that programmed that AI to generate random people at will. Plus, there's also an AI that literally created a baby, a simulation of a baby of itself. And this baby was crying, screaming, like kicking, saying first words, and literally growing up within the internet. This AI coded another AI. Like that's exactly what these systems are capable of doing.
Yeah, but then we have AI that, what was that one on Twitter that was like an AI that the internet turned like racist and like fucking
Hmm.
senile real quick?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was okay. Practically okay, boomer. But I'm just kidding.
Pratt.
But yeah, that was Microsoft's AI
Microsoft's AI, yeah, that shit was
Yeah, I remember.
broken. That shit was so broken, but it was because of the information that it was fed, not the
Hmm.
technology running behind it.
Exactly. It's machine learning. Whatever you feed it in the data set, that's exactly what it's going to learn, and
Well,
that's what it's
isn't
going
this
to
what
adapt to.
Ethereum could potentially go through? Is one bad
Mhm.
update could ruin the whole thing. That's all it would take, right? That's it.
Yep.
There is uh, no convenient way to roll back or fork a situation that could be like sort of like a nuke going off. It would make the blockchain sort of infertile for a while.
Well, see, that's the reason why Ethereum is permission source. It's not truly open source. Sure, you can commit to it, but in order for it to be implemented in the EIP, it needs to go through a ton of chain of command. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many developers that are a part of the core protocol that have the final say, if you think about it, of what truly gets implemented.
The
And we saw that with
blockchain of the
Istanbul.
Congress of Blockchain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Tezos and their Staker DAO. You know what I mean? Where you got like people that are part of like the trading aspect and the PR aspect, and then you have the people that are actually developing in the DAO, the true developers, the coders, and they have a seat at that table too. Only two of them out of the five from the developers, they have a seat at the major governance table, just to make sure that no shit goes haywire, and the people that are actually financing the platform truly understand what's going on from a development standpoint in layman's terms. So
Right.
yeah, like there are some people that just look at it from a financial standpoint, but there are some people that need to look at it from a hard code and a mathematical standpoint. And that's what Ethereum is primarily like, known for when it comes to their development process. So
So what is it? So for the layman's, what exactly is happening for Ethereum right now? When we're talking about Ethereum 2.0, what's going to be different from the Ethereum we know today after this upgrade?
sustainability, scalability, faster transactions, and of course, the end of Ice Age.
Now
So
let's dig behind all four of those one by ones. Like, how do we get to those solutions? What exactly is providing that?
well, definitely the proof of stake model, which is a major, asset, and I wouldn't just say asset, a feature, a function that's being hard coded into the legacy of Ethereum, and allowing people to take their nodes to the next level, and empowering their own systems, and making, of course, Ethereum much more secure.
Is it
I'd
that
say
much more centralized though?
yes, I definitely have to say it is. Also, they're capping the amount of Ethereum that will ever be minted, so that's definitely going to further centralize, the block rewards right now. And you know, eventually, Bitcoin is going to run out of block rewards. Ethereum is going to run out of block rewards. Like the people that are in it right now, like I don't think they understand how privileged they really are. Would you say?
I'm sorry, I was reading the chat and it's been going nuts about Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and I'm
Hmm.
sorry guys, I deleted the app so I can't. I need to make Anthony an admin somehow, but I don't know how to get to that. What were you saying though? I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was talking about the block rewards. How block rewards are not going to exist in the future. By the year 2045. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and with Bitcoin even right with
Yeah.
2,140, I believe, right?
Hmm.
So I
Exactly.
mean, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thought to go from proof of work to proof of stake, right? Like proof of work is what we've all come to love, and then once the work is done, even if in reality when there's no more gold to be mined, it's just staking, right? That's all that we have left with that. So I think that it's just a natural a natural state for any asset to kind of get to, eventually get to that point
Mhm.
where production meets an end, and that's just life, right? I mean, that's nothing could be sustainable without inevitability.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's a good thing. I don't have the foresight or the hindsight, I guess, to really see how that would look. Like I'm still enjoying the proof of work era and stacking sats, as so to speak, but um,
Mhm.
I mean, I think the hybrid concept that like Decred uses, proof of work and proof of stake. Other blockchains have kind of taken from that as well and done things similarly with hybrid blockchains,
Yeah.
using both solutions to secure the network. Um, yeah, I
And
just like to see progression, to be honest, and like anything moving forward is great, but I do worry about Ethereum and a lot of the stuff that's already been built on Ethereum, and I know that Ethereum is moving forward for scaling and everything, but can these projects that are already built on Ethereum scale with Ethereum?
that's a good question. And that it depends on their business model, what they've actually put in place in their
Can
white
they
paper.
survive a proof of stake versus a proof of work blockchain ecosystem? And I don't think the answer for that is across board. It's
It
going to
de-
be very very independent for every project.
it depends on how well they're actually versed in the technology and how versatile their business model can be, how well they can adapt, so but still I personally believe that proof of stake and proof of work can definitely go hand in hand.
Same.
hmm but what do you think about EOS? Last time I was on your show, I talked about Tune, and Tune was recently closed down and merged with the new platform called Emanate, which is a blockchain-based platform that's on EOS. And what Emanate's doing is they're merging the traditional market with blockchain for the music community. So you're still going to get your music distributed to like Apple Music, to TikTok, to Amazon. You're still going to get those uh, access, and you're also going to get your royalties paid out. And they're going to have a fiat on and off ramp, but your main source of income is going to be in the form of tokens, and there's a two-tier token system. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's pretty ridiculous. But I personally have never used EOS in the past, but now I'm kind of like forced into that corner. So
I'm waiting for
hopefully.
the voice to really kick off because that's what I'm going to play around with just to see how it is and get under the hood of it. But until then,
Mhm.
I don't really like to waste time looking into vaporware shit. Once I can actually use it, I'm
Uh-huh.
all about it. I'll spend all day looking into it. But until then, I'm just.
Yeah.
I wasted so much time looking into things that never came to fruition. I have like useless knowledge of things that don't exist. So I wait now. I'm impatient about it, and I don't waste my time with the getting overexcited. But I am a little excited for this voice on blockchain. Similar to the same thing with like music on blockchain. It's just
hmm
interesting.
Exactly. I get what you mean. For the most part, I can't stand it when I invest so much time into a platform and it just dies out in beta. It, you know, that just kind of irritates me. But
Happens
for
so
sure, dude,
often.
it does. But for the most part, if you can cash in and just like get your money and then like reinvest it again without actually losing money or paying money to get involved, then hey, more power to you, right? But still, the fact that these platforms are dying off so quickly shows that it it's a matter of people truly wanting to use them and actually invest their time and energy into it, keeping it alive. And it just comes down to the awareness, spreading the idea. Otherwise it's going to die off quicker.
You see
But
what
yeah,
Tron's doing recently with their engineering and how their blockchain's been, adopting
mhm,
and actually working with other blockchains and shit, dude. It's been crazy. We
yeah.
mentioned EOS and we were talking about Ethereum earlier. Like Tron has been, basically on ramping Ethereum and EOS developers into their ecosystem and helping them build on their networks.
Yep, that's pretty cool. I think that's awesome. Plus, not only that, they're also a smart contract platform too,
Mm-hmm.
just like Ethereum. So
I like
it'd just
Tron. I
be
like what they're up to. I think it's an interesting blockchain. I like what they're doing as far as being super community supportive.
mhm.
The Ethereum Foundation, I wish was as supportive as the Tron Foundation was with projects being built. But I guess
Do
the
you think?
Ethereum Foundation is a little tired and a little beat up, a little spiteful, I guess, at this point. But I see so much happening and so many dApps being built on the Tron
Mhm.
blockchain, and that's just utility, user base. I don't really look so much at projects anymore that build on blockchains. I look at the blockchain they're building on, and as like the property or the foundation. I just try to look at that,
That's
and
good.
like all these projects that are building on Tron, they got their reasons. So just keep an eye on them as well as like we mentioned, Ethereum and EOS, because these blockchains are evolving every day, and it's subtle. The price is what gets a lot of attention, but we got to give the tech the
Ah,
limelight.
yeah, exactly. Likewise, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people, they're actually kind of off put because of the idea that they have to pay to get in. Some because they don't truly understand that you don't really have to pay. You can literally just tokenize and monetize you as a person.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, dude, like your time is money. The internet shouldn't necessarily just be like full of freeware and free services. That these
It's not
corporations
free
are.
though.
Yeah, I know, right? These corporations are taking your data and selling it off to
Fuck.
all these other like people and corporations. It's absurd, dude. I can't.
The word free doesn't mean
Yeah,
what it used to. I tell you that much.
exactly. It really doesn't at all. Hey, speaking of which, Tron. Touching on the subject of Tron, do you think they're ever going to change their name? Because I know that Disney kind of like hit them with the subpoena or something along those lines, yeah, about the name.
No. No.
You don't think so?
No.
Never.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I doubt it. If anything, they'll just spell it backwards.
Yeah.
I think that's what Justin might do. He might just spell it backwards.
Hmm.
Fuck him.
That'd be, hey, that'd be a cool idea, actually. I'd be game with that. MetaMask recently got taken down from the Google Play Store. Speaking of suppression, corporate
Yeah,
suppression.
for the browser 3.0 support, right? That's what I think it
Hmm.
was.
Dude, they actually cited the ability to mine cryptocurrency, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
This
that
is
makes no
working.
sense. There was actually so many applications that were being submitted to the Google App Store that were data mining in the background, like Monero and shit on people's
Yeah.
phones. Nobody really knew about, and then there was like ad blockers that were actually mining Monero in the background of people's computers for like years.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it was all going to somebody else's wallet,
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
like some remote wallet. Dude, could you imagine that, dude? Like, yo, 2017, XMR was $500 a piece, dude. Shit is crazy.
That is
Like,
absolutely absurd.
yeah, it
That
was.
that is absurd. And there's points where I feel like it could potentially get to that momentum again,
Uh huh.
even if it isn't sustainable or honest. Like I feel like there could be market manipulation to get coins to these prices again, because this was all done at like 1 to 2%, adoption worldwide.
Uh
If we
huh.
can get to 5 to 10%, there's no reason to think that they can't and won't do the same type of a market manipulated move again. So
Dude,
bag
bro.
holders bag hold, because you're still early into the scams that you fell for.
Uh huh. I still think that in game, the real scam is the central banks. Like, all in all, the people that are printing the money, that's the real fraud right there. That's
Well,
the
the
real
new
scam.
scam are custodials, so banks, yes, but now we have Coinbase, right? So it's like fuck, man, like it's no
Mhm.
better than the bank. It's probably worse than the banks, but this is our solution, to
Ah,
banking is custodial services. And I don't know how I feel about this, bro. We're not solving any problems. We're just making problems stronger with better tech, and it's like Terminator 2. Oh, like we thought Terminator 1 was bad. Wait till you get these fucking T900s.
that's a good analogy. Personally, I gotta say, man, like I think if we just move away from custodial services and we start using decentralized exchanges, problem solved. Problem solved. What do you
Yeah.
think about that idea?
But that's not the problem. Is regulations and
Mhm.
legislation will probably make that impossible for corporations, right? And like
Yeah.
they can't regulate us individually, but
Mhm.
without institutional money, it's going to be hard to see, mass adoption in that direction. You can see
That's
mom and
gonna.
pop shops kind of protest and revolt against it. Hey, we cash only. We won't tell if you don't. No taxes here. Yeah, that still happens, but it's not something you'll see happen at McDonald's. So,
Of course.
until we see these corporations feel like they can adopt without fear of persecution because they didn't get grandfathered out of some regulations that were implemented while they were doing things with crypto, they're never
Yeah,
going to.
you're right. Yeah, they have risk compliance. So
So they need custodials, right? If you're or like things like BitPay or BTC Pay Server or whatever, like they need these because they can't just accept Bitcoin and hold it and then pay their employees with it because they could get in trouble for it eventually. Not now, but there's a chance. Like this is like the boogeyman I mentioned in my podcast before. Like these regulators are the boogeyman under the bed of a lot of industries in the world because they're worried of future regulations, not even the ones that exist today, but things that may exist tomorrow that they could have broke a law that doesn't even exist yet, but then be held responsible for it.
true. Absolutely. You're right. And I think that's kind of stifling innovation in the sector as well. If you think about it, like it's a little crazy. But there are a lot of solutions that are being brought to the table for custodial services where
Like what?
it goes from literally crypto to fiat instantaneously, and you get a cut straight off of like let's say a 2% margin of every single payment that goes through that business traffic.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, and
I feel like when anything goes to fiat, there's always some sketchy, scammy bank scenario involved where there's more risk than reward eventually.
well, personally, fiat is just let it be done. My perspective, it's not really money; it's just fabrication. And the real money, as J.P. Morgan once put it, is gold and silver,
I
and
think
also as the Constitution once put it, is real gold, is gold and silver.
I
So,
think stable coins are going to be more mainstream than Bitcoin first, like sooner than Bitcoin.
like, yeah,
We'll see
government
USDT
central.
or CUSD or whatever it is. We'll see these stable coins accept it for. We're starting to see them now with accepting for taxes and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
and not only that, but also peer-to-peer lending in the space.
mm-hmm.
Like for instance, there's a DAI on the Ethereum blockchain. I'm sure you know of it.
Yep.
There are a lot of people that are getting really great returns just lending out their Ethereum against Maker in the DAI infrastructure. Like anywhere upwards of 15% returns, dude. You go to a traditional bank, you're gonna get like fucking what, 3%, 4%, and
Yeah,
that
but
isn't
I've seen
counteracting
some
inflation.
insustainability. Yeah, I've seen some real insustainability with this. Where with that 50, like people are just basically making money off money, putting their Ethereum up, getting the DAI, getting more Ethereum with the DAI to put up to get more DAI to get more Ethereum, and they just keep it going. And is this really something that is sustainable?
Well,
Isn't this another debt based system?
collateral system. Oh yeah, dude, definitely. Debt-based collateral systems run the global economy, dude. There's more
Right.
debt
DAI
in the
is
system.
basically fiat. Like that's how
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
looking at it.
Oh yeah, totally. See, that's the thing. Stable coins are fiat. See, it's just fabrication, dude. Let it be done. Like, if you got enough like DAI to, pay the bills, and keep those payments rolling in, and you're also mining with a Claymore miner, at
Right,
the same
right.
time, like, bro, you're gonna be kicking ass, man. Like, That's all, and you're getting better returns than you would have with the traditional banking sector. And
And if the market
by
does
it.
well, you end up doing good. You get some of your collateral back,
Mhm.
and that's what
Yep.
people don't realize is, it's better than selling your assets for cash value for a loan, because if the asset
Mhm.
is to go up, you have to buy it back. You're losing that money that you took out either way.
Mhm. Yep.
So.
But well, let's say for instance you staked 1,000 Ethereum when they were worth $1,000 each with a DAI, dude. And now Ethereum is like what, 120 bucks. You're still getting that DAI rate at 1,000 per Ethereum, and you literally just probably like got more DAI back, and then you were able to buy the dip with that
Mm-hmm.
while it was lower than $1,000. So you're always going to be profitable at that point.
Yep,
You
yeah,
think
because you
about
can you can basically hedge on both sides of the market. Either way it goes, and if it goes back up to 1,000 where you broke even on the first,
it. Mhm.
you actually profited off the second.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, dude, it's still ridiculous to think that more people are going to be doing this with like other networks such as Tezos. You know, it's, I mean, Tezos came out of nowhere. Like, did
Tezos, that's
yeah,
what's that? Is that the dude from what's that? Fuck.
he's from Duke University. That's the founders from Duke University.
Yeah, what project?
Yeah.
What legacy company is that from though? I feel like there was like a, I can't remember the name of like the company behind it. Isn't there like a company behind Tezos? Am I wrong?
Um, I'm about to look that up.
Hmm.
I don't really think it is. It's just an organization. I don't think there's like a specific company.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I'm thinking. What's the one Patrick Bjorn? What company is he with again?
Patrick Buring, I think. I'm not entirely sure. It might be Tezos itself. Um,
Yeah, cause what's that online shopping website that he's with?
wait. Patrick, isn't that the guy from Overstock.com?
Overstock. Yeah, isn't that
Yeah,
is that what is Overstock and Tezos a thing, or is that something else?
I don't believe they are.
All
No,
right, that was something else then.
it more than likely is. But yeah, Tezos is actually a smart contract based platform that wants to do the same thing that Maker and DAO are building right now. So, but dude, it's a major trend because people see the potential growth from it, and it's actually backed by hard math and not just government fabricated bonds. Like you don't have to put anybody in fucking bondage to generate wealth through this form of finance. So, which just makes sense if you think about it. Like, kind of crazy that we're still working on principles from like the 1500s with our traditional financing sector. You know, like, oh hey,
Well, that's not due to financial technologies. That's due to governments.
yeah, of course, exactly. But I mean,
Governments
let's be,
stifle innovation, and that's the what really holds everything back, especially finance.
uh-huh. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hmm. Let's see here. France Community About Council. Yeah. So the president of the Tezos Foundation is Ryan Jefferson. Yeah, dude's got an MBA. Pretty cool gentleman. Yeah, he went to Duke University. But yeah, they work with Nomadic Labs and TC. We've got a few partnerships going on moving forward, and definitely a project to look out for. Like, dude, the ROI on Tezos, if you got in early, like, oh man, you'd be sitting really pretty right now. It's
Yeah,
insane.
Overstock's STO platform T0 and Tezos Foundation.
Oh
It's
shit, what?
I wasn't crazy, bro. I knew it was
Yeah,
something to
you're
do with
not. Yeah.
Overstock and Patrick
Uh-huh.
Bjorn and Tezos. Because I was sitting here like, dude, I couldn't get it out of my head. I had to Google that shit. I was just like,
Hmm.
what the fuck is happening? Yes. I was like,
Okay,
and
so
big Crypto Day says I'm grabbing bags of Tezos weekly, bullish as fuck. I actually got to talk to their team in Atlantic City, and they are interesting as
nice.
hell, bro. Like they're they're nerdy dudes, like way over my head.
Yeah, those are the type of people you really want to sit down and soak up
Right.
information from,
Like, hold
dude.
on though. Can you repeat yourself? Can you repeat
Uh-huh.
it?
Dude, like, oh man, like those are the people that are really going to be making drastic changes coming up in this next century.
Yeah,
So
but they're the silent killers in the space, or the boring nerds actually doing shit rather than the
mhm,
ones that are not and out there shilling.
exactly, you're right. People that are actually sitting at home coding and getting shit
Like,
done.
people looking at projects to invest in, it's the ones that don't say shit. Like, invest in the ones that aren't marketing, that aren't paying fucking influencers and aren't out there, shilling bullshit. Look at the projects that have been around since 2016, 2017, and survived the bear market and still have, either the same or better, volume on the markets, and take a look at them, because they're the ones that have the most potential. The ones that
Hmm.
have the least potential are the loudest kids in the room, because they have a lot of expectations they have to meet, and they have higher glass ceilings that they have to break to make previous investors happy. So just keep a lot of that shit in mind when you look at coins that had previous all-time highs. People are going to dump closer and closer to that ceiling, and keeping a lot of that pressure back down. So
Yeah, well, that's the idea when it comes to traders' mentalities. Once support is now resistance, because the people that bought in at those all-time highs, thinking that it was going to be higher, they're going to want to fucking break even. You know
yeah,
what I
at
mean?
least, or
Yeah,
close to it as they can get.
uh-huh, exactly. Which is kind of stupid, man. Like, why not just actually like enjoy the ride? Like, literally forget about it, enjoy the ride, dude.
Well, that's the difference between, like, a day trader and an investor, right?
Hmm.
A trader and an investor have two different goals, two different everything, really, ins and outs, and the way that they
Hmm.
get in, the way they get out. So
Yep.
investors want quick return, or traders want quick returns, and investors look at dips as buying opportunities always.
Totally. I completely agree. I mean, when it comes down to knowing your assets too, like investors definitely have a different dichotomy and mindset as well. Some day traders, they don't give a fuck what the hell is going on with the project.
Dude,
They just see a run and they love it. They're like, "Yes, let me grab this position. All right. Okay, let me see what's the RSI. Oh shit, yes. We're still a little bit low. All right.
not
Hopefully."
knowing that it all came from a troll box on, in a form, and it's being pump and dumped by like 30 to 40 people, and all this is going to
Huh?
change in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
All these
So
green and red candles don't mean shit when you don't know where they're coming from.
for the most part, yep, you're absolutely right. And they don't look into like how many people are actually holding this contract or how many people have active wallets on the blockchain. They're just like, oh yes, oh my god, this coin just spiked to $1, up from 50 cents. Holy shit, man, I just missed out on some serious returns. Oh man, FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Yeah,
Yeah, meanwhile, nobody's staking them, or doing
uh,
anything with them. No one's
yeah,
locking up anything. They're not, no long term use case for these.
exactly. And that's where investors are like, yeah, it's tons of red flags. I'm staying away like this is the
You see
plague.
these
Fucking
coins come out, and
demonic.
they're, have master nodes or whatever, and they start like
Mhm.
locking up like fucking 60-70% of the circulating
Uh-huh.
supply. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh shit, why is the coin market cap reflecting this on the price evaluation? Like, damn.
exactly. They never do that. Whenever they have like networks of people that have like, let's say 30K wallets, and these people are like, devout supporters of the network because they see the hard math and the use case behind the project, but they're only reflecting the volume, the sheer trading volume across the
Right.
exchanges.
It's
It
not a
makes
fair
no sense.
evaluation. And the way
It's
that we
not.
see these assets evaluated today isn't
No.
how I feel like the metrics will be soon. I don't know what they look like. I'm not that guy. But I feel
Yeah.
like they have to be recreated for the way that these assets live. Like, you
Mhm.
could take so many out of circulating supply, and lock them in master nodes or whatever kind of other contracts there are, but it isn't reflected on the market cap.
Yeah, that's what matters, right? Totally. And for the most part, these nodes that are staked sometimes cost upwards of $1 million or more, and you got like hundreds of
Right.
thousands of these wallets, right? Like, if not. So, dude, like, it has to come down to the evaluation. It has to. I think that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin and the Lightning Network nodes are like, you know, not even really being reflected on the current market cap of
Right.
Bitcoin.
Right,
So,
because the supply isn't what it's shown to be. I mean, there's so many Bitcoin that are just lost.
yep.
What about 3 to 4 million Bitcoin? I think if you look at I forget the who did this, but it was basically coins that haven't moved in so long that they're basically considered dead or lost or in purgatory. Like they're
Hmm.
and then there's other ones that are basically tainted or Bitcoin that were just burned because of creating color coins back in the day. So there was reasons other than whatever that Bitcoin were taken out of circulation for other creations. And it's
Exactly.
not really reflected. People think there's going to be 21 million Bitcoin because that's what we talk about, but that's not true because there's already negative 3 to 4 million Bitcoin, and we're at 17. So
Hmm.
good luck. I think we're already there.
Exactly. I agree. Like the minting is almost over. And if you didn't mind when you could hit blocks early on with a simple laptop, like literally in a matter of like minutes, then you kind of lucked out. You know what I mean? And not to mention that, these Bitcoin that have been stolen from exchange hacks, they're already blacklisted, like red flagged. Some of these coins, like for instance, certain projects like Hex, for instance, Richard Hex, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richard Hart and that
yeah, he
scam.
was. Yeah, he's a scammer just about, but he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be airdropping any of these hex tokens to anybody that has Mt. Gox coin. Like, it, it was like some white knight shit, but it just makes sense, dude. What if we see other corporations saying that these coins were stolen, but the person that has the coins didn't actually commit to the hack? You
Hmm.
know, it was just a circulating coin that was a
Right.
part
That
of the
yeah,
hack.
exactly. What if I earned those coins doing something and now I'm a secondary victim?
Yeah.
And I've always felt that way about these. I had somebody on the podcast yesterday about it. Like when these from CoinFirm, when an exchange says, "Oh, you sent Bitcoin from a hack, so we're gonna freeze it." That's theft to the second degree. Like what? I mean, I get it. I understand what's happening, but that's not Bitcoin. That's censorship, and Bitcoin isn't to be confiscated. It's unconfiscatable. And to see these exchanges go against that, and to hopefully people stop using these centralized exchanges because people are going to start. And this is interesting. Financial terrorism is real, man. Like we're going to start seeing politicians accept Bitcoin for donations. Well, I'm going to specifically make sure that I send the guy I don't want and I don't like Bitcoin from Silk Road. Haha, I tainted your wallet, dickhead. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about that when Coinbase says, "Oh, sorry, Ron Paul, somebody sent you, blacklisted Bitcoin. We're gonna have to freeze your account." Like,
That's funny, dude.
I
That's
mean, it's gonna
hilarious.
happen though, right? And if we keep
Yeah.
allowing these exchanges to do that, people are gonna be able to send traders very tainted, coins to their exchange and get them fucked over. So I would be careful of putting out your public address because now that could become a very vulnerable point of attack.
Yeah, so it becomes a liability at that point.
Right. Yeah. I
But
mean, even if you're not using a custodial wallet, even if you're using a wallet where you have the keys, somebody sends that public address tainted coins, you can't shop at the corner store that uses a custodial point of sale system. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we are wrapping up on time, man. Is there anything that you wanted to make sure we talked about?
no, that literally we hit the nail on the head here. So we do. Let's see here. Yeah, it is running late.
Yeah, we did an hour and 20 minutes, but we were so in conversation, I didn't want to stop. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, dude. No, it's all cool, bro. So, yo, I appreciate the time. Nonetheless, dude, it's always great to chat with you, somebody that has been in the space for some time and you can actually understand
Appreciate it,
what we're
man.
talking about. Like, dude, whenever I try to talk to other people about this, they're like, yo, you're speaking Greek to me. I can't, no, I can't fade it.
Right. Well, they'll catch up eventually, man. Like the more the
Yeah.
mainstream mentions it, it becomes subtly implemented into our vernaculars, and people work that in, through context, education through context. They might not understand it, but people can fake a conversation through a lot of things because of the way that they subtly have learned information through mainstream or entertainment. Like
Mhm.
I don't know shit about quantum mechanics, but I bet I could fake a good conversation because of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's that manufactured consent from Noam Chomsky's idea. You know what I mean? Like television, mass media, all that shit is being pushed out to the masses, brainwashing them. There's a YouTube channel that's fucking hilarious, dude. Well, actually, highly informational. Um, it's actually Mainframe OS's YouTube channel, and they have a video called Rosetta Node. It's an April Fool's joke. You should look it up, man. I'm gonna drop it in this chat. It's called Rosetta Node, and they're just like making fun of Rosetta Stone, but like doing it with Web3 terminology. It's fucking great, dude. It's hilarious.
Rosetta Node. I'll check it out. I'm already interested. I like the name. It's funny.
hmm So yeah, take care. All right. It was
Hey,
awesome being on the show.
Patrick. Thanks, man. Yeah, I guess before you leave, let people know where they can find you on the internet.
Oh yeah, totally. So you can find me on Instagram at 10_pound_sterling, and you can find me on Twitter at TPS0011.
All right, guys. Yo, Patrick, thank you so much, bro. Enjoy your day and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to... I'm a shell.